Well, welcome back to 1 Point in 2 Minutes. Today, we're going to cover one of the most foundational books that look at liberty and authority that has been written in the last several hundred years. Samuel Rutherford's Lex Rex, which translates from Latin as The Law and the Prince, written in 1644. Here's the 1 point of the book. All authority is established not by men, not by political institutions, and not by the raw exercise of power, but is instead established by God. And so God establishes authority in offices in which he places men. However, those offices being ordained by God have one purpose from God: to reward those who do good and obey God's law, or to punish those who do evil, or in other words, to disobey or disregard God's law. The corollary to this, according to Samuel Rutherford, is that it is good, appropriate, and right to resist those rulers who command their subjects, their people, their polis, to disregard God's laws in order to obey the laws of the man in the office. And so another way of saying this is we can resist tyranny because tyranny is disobedience to God. Yet another way of saying this is that we must encourage and speak to our rulers and encourage them to reward what is good and to punish what is wrong. So when we, for example, in a historical society as Scotland, where Samuel Rutherford wrote, when Samuel Rutherford saw that the kings over Scotland and the rulers of Scotland, both in the civil authority as well as in many of the church authorities, were commanding the people not to worship God according to their conscience, and were commanding them to do things that were in direct opposition to their understanding of Scripture, Samuel Rutherford put his own life on the line to speak out publicly, both in churches as well as to address the rulers of his day. Samuel Rutherford was ultimately put under house arrest, removed from a professorship, and removed from the pastor of the church he was at. And here's what Samuel Rutherford said when he was put under house arrest in Aberdeen for 2 years. "I go to my king's palace at Aberdeen," he speaks of his home prison that he's being interred in, "and tongue, pen, nor wit can express my joy." So he understood that in obeying divine authority and disobeying tyranny, that he was ultimately pleasing to God. This is really the whole of this incredible book. It was cited by John Adams, by Thomas Jefferson. This man didn't just cite the Bible. He cites hundreds of authors. He cites Spanish lawyers, medieval princes from around the world, and goes all the way back to the pre-Christian era, citing Moses, Nehemiah, and others. So take the time to read the book. Liberty is worth it. Thank you.